please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, number 1013, Open My Heart. And the lyrics are on the screen behind me. November is Native American Heritage Month. Today I will begin with a land acknowledgement that I wrote with my Interfaith Coalition colleague, the Rabbi David Goldstein of Lakeland's Temple Emmanuel. We acknowledge those who came before us and were stewards of this land for thousands of years. We reside on the homelands of the Calusa, Tocobaga, Ayis, and Timucuan. These populations, after thousands of years on this land we now call Florida, were decimated, 90% of them gone, by disease and warfare in just 50 years after the Europeans arrived. The people we now call Seminoles came from different tribes of Creek ancestry to the north after being removed from their land. Many were forced to serve in 3 wars, then attacked by the U.S. Army, captured and relocated if they survived to Oklahoma. About 300 of these original Seminole retreated to the swamplands to avoid capture. Freed Black Americans also came looking for safety, and together they lived hidden in the Everglades and the wooded, swampy areas of Florida. In the 1770s, the indigenous peoples living in Florida collectively became known as Seminole. The Seminoles of Florida call themselves the unconquered people, the only tribe in America to never have signed a peace treaty. More than 2,000 Seminoles now live on 6 reservations in the state of Florida, one of them in Tampa, the nearest to our Lakeland home. Today, the state of Florida is home to the Seminole, Miccosukee, Muskogee, and Choctaw, and to individuals of many other Native groups. We live on and benefit from this stolen land. I write this land acknowledgement in the absence of a relationship with the people to whom this land belongs. Indeed, we have much work to do to cultivate relationships with Seminole people. May we pay respect to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to their descendants, to the generations yet unborn, and to all indigenous people. May we educate ourselves about the significant history of indigenous peoples in this country and throughout the world. May we seek to gain a better understanding of the destructive nature of colonialism. Let us remember that we are not the owners of this land. We are merely the stewards. It is up to us to care for it so that future generations will be able to enjoy its flora, fauna, and the water that we take for granted. Often called the land of endless summer, this place is truly a gift. Let us always remember to be thankful for what we have.
Good morning. My name is Julia Davis. I serve this congregation as a worship associate wearing a mask today. I use the pronouns she and her. These are the opening words. Ever in our midst by Reverend Karen G. Johnston. Ancestors who spoke with bravest fire, lend us your senses that we may know another world is on her way. Breathed into life with our participation in her creation. Forebears who led the way where there was at first no way, lend us your persistence, your terminity, your assurance that the moral arc of the universe does indeed bend toward justice. Ones who went before us sacrificing for a future not your own, help us to give of ourselves that the common stones in our hands might be cathedrals of compassion today, halls of restorative justice tomorrow, sheltering walls of beloved community the day after. It is Sunday morning, the day we gather. Let us be thankful and full of praise to be in the company of those who came before, yet are ever in our midst. Welcome to this sanctuary, our sacred, brave space where we co-create a healing love needed for our souls and the souls of the world.
Well, good morning. I'm Heather Norby. I'm the Spiritual Life Director for this fantastic congregation, and I use the pronouns she and her. In order to build this community, we need love and connection, and that will lead to spiritual and ethical transformation. And of course, this is your community, and so we ask that you please be an active part of it by joining us in some of the following activities, especially this one. Today, after service, we will work on a vision statement during our town hall meeting, and we want for all of you to be there. This is an important part of knowing and determining and putting it out there about who we are and what we value and how we're going to move forward and what we're going to focus on. So please join us. There's no program this Wednesday evening. I'm going to be out for a week, maybe two. We'll see. Thank you for your grace on that. I'm having surgery, minor surgery, reminding myself, minor surgery tomorrow. I'll be good, but thank you. Yes?
Supposed to be the creative thing?
Creativity Matters. Oh, no, we will have a program this Wednesday night because Helen's going to fill in for me. Thank you, Helen. So we will have Creativity Matters tonight. The packet is in the newsletter, so feel free to explore it, and I'll get with Helen about other things she might want to do. Thank you. All right. Let's see, next Saturday, November 23rd at 5:30 p.m., there will be a fundraiser called Pasta with Perry. That's Perry Como. For a donation, you get an evening with the music of Perry Como, a pasta dinner, and a raffle. This is to raise money jointly for the Insiders Club and UUCL. And if you have questions, please see Adam. November 30th, there will be a paint gem party from 1 to 3. This is also a fundraiser for UUCL. The cost is only $15 if you purchase tickets by November 23rd, or $20 if you purchase them later. And Gal is in charge of that. Gal's not here today, is she? So you can't ask her, but you can email her. Andy Quinn from the Lakeland Insight Meditation Group will be here as your guest speaker while I'm out next Sunday. And December 1st, that's the Sunday after Thanksgiving, at 6 p.m. is the Interfaith Coalition's Thanksgiving worship service. please come out to Christ the King Episcopal Church up on Silkram Loop for what is sure to be a meaningful time together with people of other faiths. I will be there, along with Betts from the Buddhist group that meets here, and the rabbi and Reverend Tim and all of the other interfaith leaders that we know and love. So please come join us. And this week, I would like to say thank you to Melissa and Jerry, who isn't here, is he? Oh, well, thank you anyway, Jerry and Melissa, who take care of our kids each week. If you can volunteer to help them in the classroom, behind the scenes, or as a religious exploration committee member, please let Melissa know. It is very, very important to have plenty of volunteers for our RE program. And the UUCL annual service auction is coming up on December 15th. Please check the newsletter for the link to list your auction items. Oh, Dorothy wants to talk about it. She gets 1 minute. That is now the running joke, right?
Where do I talk?
Right here to the microphone.
Well, this is our major fundraiser, and we need donations, and it's very important. And Ken has set up a way for you to donate online, but he won't come up and tell you about it, but he hates to talk in front of people. But please think about what to donate, like a dinner. Like we're doing a Hawaiian dinner. We're putting it up. Because we went to Hawaii, we're giving it. Is my minute up? Okay, thank you.
Well, I'll just say that our annual service auction is lots of fun, and there's always like creative ideas and things to bid on, ways for us to be together and have a good time and build community. So please be sure to come out to that. And sometimes some people bake, and they bake some really delicious things, so you don't want to miss out on that. And of course, please check the back of your order of service and our e-newsletter, which is published on Mondays, for more information. Thank you. And Julia will come get our chalice. Julia.
So the chalice lighting. Let us create this sacred space by lighting our chalice, the symbol of our faith. Our chalice lighting words today are entitled, "We Prepare for the Future," and were written by Robin F. Gray. By the light of this chalice, we prepare for the future. We prepare ourselves for the times of triumph and times of trial that might come. We prepare ourselves to be present to one another with loving hearts, even in the most difficult times. We prepare ourselves to make the connections that will lift us out of isolation and prepare the path of justice and equality. Helen, would you please do us the honor of lighting our chalice? One moment, please. The chalice is lit. Thank you. Please rise in body or spirit and sing hymn number 123, Spirit of Life. It's in the gray hymnal, and the words are on the screen behind us.
like to invite the children to come forward, please. Hi, how are you? Good. It's good to see you. Did you have a good week? All right, here comes Presley with his banana and everything. All right. Hi. I love your shirts. That's cool. Oh, hey there, new friend. Come on up.
I'm named Jemaya.
Jemaya? Oh, so nice to meet you. I am Miss Heather.
And I'm Roman.
And-
My dad's Roman and I'm Roman too.
Oh, okay. Great. Hi, Roman and Roman too. Nice to meet you. So I have a question that maybe you can answer. Let's see. Do you know who the people are that actually built this church, made this place happen? Do you remember any names? No? Do you think it's important to remember the names of the people that built? Dakota's like, yeah. Yeah. Why? Why is it important? Why do you think? Because of life. Yeah. It is important to know about the life that happened before us, right? And because of God. Because of the way that the Spirit of life and God moved through people. Yeah? And compelled them to build a place, a community, where we could be Unitarian Universalists together. Yeah, or a house, or like this as our spiritual home, we call it. Yeah, it's important to know about the people who came before us, to know about all the work that they did and why they did it, about all of their talents and their imaginations and commitments, right? And so I like to honor them every year about this time because our fellowship, our Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, started 69 years ago on Sunday, November 27th, when 35 people signed the membership book, and the first service was held actually at 4 p.m. at the Danforth Chapel at Florida Southern College, right here in Lakeland. And they met there for about 4 years, and then they had to leave. And a woman named Cleo Thomas, or Tommy as we call her, came and she searched the city and searched the city for a place for them to meet, and she found this little place right here. So we're going to honor all of those 35 people that came together to make this place, because would we be here if those 35 people didn't come make this place? Probably not. Probably not. So I'm going to need your help, okay? We have these rocks here. Now, often as Trey sits underneath the table here, and people are like, Heather, what is going on with those rocks there? Like, why do you do that? Well, those are our founders, and their names are on the rocks, and I'm going to read their names, and I'm going to have you help me drop them into this big bowl of water. What do you think? Yes, I know. They love putting rocks in that water. Okay, I knew you'd be the perfect people to do this. So hold on. We're going to take turns, okay? All right. Yay. Okay. So, we're going to take turns, and I can tell, Presley, that you want to go first. So, I'm going to start with Patsy Eager, because Patsy Eager was one of the women who really made this place happen, okay? So can you put Patsy Eager into the bowl, please? She's very important. Thank you. Thank you. Is it your turn, Callie? Okay. I'm going to give you Eleanor Detman, Mrs. Carl Detman, because she was the other woman who really helped to make this place happen, and she was in charge of the Sunday school for years. Eleanor Detman. Thank you. Who's next? Dakota. Mrs. Julian Martinez. Well, we have two other people that need a turn. Jemiah, do you want a turn? Barbara Irwin. Mrs. Julian Martinez. Paul S. Patterson. Okay. Elaine Smithers. Harold Smithers. Do that again. Thank you. Jeremiah. Do you want another one? Oh, let's get Jeremiah. Lola S. Bracken. Yeah, gently, gently. Thank you. Joseph L. Hempstead. Dorothea Garber. Presley. Roger Bart. Go ahead. Dorothy Rowe. Jeremiah. Susan Patterson. Elaine Bart. Mary Hostetter. Mildred Robert. Hester Hempstead. George Lees. Fred D. Wish. Margarita Eichly. Retta M. Wish. John D. Rowland. I'm keeping you guys busy. Wesley Clarence Salter. Ralph B. Rowe. Chris Camden. Dale Matthias. Roy Eichly. Eichlier. Yeah. You are. Howard Camden. Wait, I forget. Wida Salter. Jane Savage. Jessica Price. Who's next? Chris Hostetter. Jeremiah. Thank you. Warren Scholl. Presley, we'll do almost the last one. And this one is Bertha Stites, who was a Universalist, remember? There's always a quiz on Bertha Stites. She was a Universalist in the 1920s and tried to start the Universalist Church, and she was also a founding member of this fellowship. Great job, y'all. Thank you so much. You are little bananas today. Thank you for helping us to honor our founders. And now I'm going to give you a chance to put in a colored rock into the bowl so it can mingle with our founders, so you can gather the energy from them to keep this place going. Thank you. They're going to have a great time today, I can tell. Transgender Awareness Week, which began on November 13th, leads up to the Transgender Day of Remembrance on November 19th, a day when we honor and remember the lives lost to anti-trans violence. The UUA created a video for us to share as we join in solidarity with the trans community. Vaisal will have it up soon.
Islam is an expansive and rich religious tradition.
Start from the beginning with that.
Hi, my name is Reverend Jamie Andel. My pronouns are they and them. I work for our Unitarian Universalist Association as your transgender support specialist. Unitarian Universalism is an expansive and rich religious tradition. UUs embrace transgender, non-binary, intersex, and all genderful people. Trans people have always existed, and we will continue to do so. But right now is an especially vulnerable and tender time for our community. So a few friends and I got together to create a video with messages of affirmation and love for this year's Transgender Day of Remembrance. Please take a few minutes to relax yourself and forget about the problems and worry happening in the world. Hear the care and adoration and love that surrounds you now and always. We honor our trans kin who have died this year. May we learn to love so fiercely and so strongly that we no longer have to have a Transgender Day of Remembrance in our lifetime. May we instead live to see a day when we're fully liberated and free.
Trans people are sacred.
Are sacred.
Are sacred.
Trans people are sacred.
Trans people are sacred.
Y'all, trans people are a blessing.
We are blessed and a blessing because we exist, and thank God for that.
We are blessed and a blessing because we are created in the divine image.
Because you are the very image of the divine.
Because you are a unique and wondrous being, radiating a true spark of the divine.
Because you are holy and whole.
We are blessed and a blessing because we define who we are.
Because you are.
Well, the plan was to stop it before that and to play that after the service. But I was just going to let it go. But the video is 7 minutes long, and so we will definitely play the rest of it after the service. I think I can get it going in the social hall. Thank you for that. Bell Hooks reminds us that rarely, if ever, are any of us healed in isolation. Healing is an act of communion. Our ritual of the sharing of joys, concerns, and sorrows is an act of communion, and it lets us know that there is indeed power in being together. This is a ritual that supports our healing and sustains us with love. In our Joys and Sorrows book, you are able to write any significant joy or sorrow occurring in your life that you would like for the congregation to know. And Mary St. Denise says that she is grateful for all of our loving community. And Nancy and Tom Moore say that they are happy to be back from New Hampshire. Well, we are happy to have you here, along with all the other snowbirds that came down. So you are invited now to come forward for our ritual of joys and sorrows. You may take whichever stone or stones feels right to you and drop it in the water with our founding members, connecting to them, connecting to others, and feeling the power of being together in this community. UUCL, do we have anyone on Zoom?
We don't have anyone on the Zoom, but we have 7 people watching on YouTube or Facebook.
And, okay.
Not on Zoom.
And 7 people on Facebook. We shall put stones in for all of our watchers on Facebook. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet ahim gam yahad. How good it is and how pleasant for people to dwell together.
Here we gather tucked back in this friendly neighborhood between the beautiful tall pines. We are a community of people who have arrived from different paths, yet we seek a common goal: to bring more love to a hurting but beautiful world. As Unitarian Universalists, we aspire to reach this goal through our shared values, one of which is the value of interdependence, which calls us to honor the interdependent web of all existence and to covenant to cherish Earth and all our beings by creating and nurturing relationships of care and respect. Our shared value of interdependence asks us to do this with humility and reverence by acknowledging our place in the great web of life and working to repair harm and damaged relationships. This we can only do together, and your monetary gifts are essential to supporting our endeavor to repair and heal. Our ushers will now pass the collection plates. Thank you, ushers. These are the lyrics to the song called Anthem, a song by Leonard Cohen. The birds, they sing at the break of day. Start again, I heard them say. Don't dwell on what has passed away or what is yet to be. Yes, the wars, they will be fought again. The holy dove, she will be caught again. Bought and sold and bought again, the dove is never free. Ring the bells that still can ring, forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. We asked for signs, the signs were sent. The birth betrayed, the marriage spent. Yeah, the widowhood of every government, signs for all to see. I can't run no more with that lawless crowd while the killers in high places say their prayers out loud. But they're summoned, they've summoned up a thundercloud, they're going to hear from me. Ring the bells that still can ring, forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. You can add up all the parts, you won't have the sum. You can strike up the march, there is no drum. Every heart to love will come. But like a refugee, ring the bells that still can ring, forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That is how the light gets in.
We know this world to be less than perfect. We know there will always be challenges, sorrows, and struggles. We will always be working toward that aspirational world where people dwell in peace together. But not being able to achieve the perfect vision is no excuse for not working with the sparks of light we do have, the light that gets through the cracks and calls to the sacredness of our being. The light that shines through the cracks is where we find repentance, redemption, and repair. The light is the enduring love of the divine, of God, of the universe, the spirit of life, whatever you name it. One rabbi in Connecticut, the Rabbi Jeremy Schwartz, wrote, "I've reached one enduring conclusion in the years I've served as a rabbi, learning and teaching, celebrating, comforting, and in particular, burying members of our community and our loved ones. One enduring conclusion is that love is all that lasts." He continues, "I don't know exactly how to explain it, but I sense it in my bones and in my soul. Our thoughts, our feelings, our physical characteristics, situation, and even physical selves are fleeting, but love endures. It sends ripples into the world that become embedded in its very fabric." That love that is rippling throughout the interdependent fabric of life, shining through the cracks, is the motivating force that calls us to action. As our value of interdependent states, with humility and reverence, we acknowledge our place in the great web of life, and we work to repair harm and damaged relationships. In the Jewish faith, there is a concept named tikkun olam. It is Hebrew for world repair and has come to mean social action and the pursuit of social justice. It has deep roots in classical rabbinic literature, where it referred to social policy legislation that provided protection for those at a disadvantage. Although sometimes the ancient rabbis used the phrase more generally and quite eloquently and beautifully to refer to making the world habitable and inhabited. They describe God's provision of rain as being an act of tikkun olam, and they describe a mother bird on her nest as being involved in tikkun olam, making the world habitable and inhabited. However, it is also found in Lurianic Kabbalah, a major strand of Jewish mysticism which originated in the 16th century with Kabbalist Isaac Luria, that tikkun olam refers to individual acts of repair. The Lurianic account of creation, as Rabbi Schwartz tells it, conjures up a story of a creating God who pours divine light into primordial vessels of not God. These not God vessels were not able to contain the power of the divine light, and they exploded. The resulting universe is now studded with holy sparks of divine light, embedded or hidden in husks of not God. It is also recorded in the Lurianic account that the first man, Adam, was intended to restore the divine sparks through mystical exercises, but his sin interfered. As a result, good and evil remained thoroughly mixed in the created world, and human souls, previously contained within atoms, as they believed, and also became imprisoned within the shards. Luria taught that the human task is to liberate the holy sparks through spiritual attention, reuniting them with their divine source to repair the world and return it to an orderly, habitable, and inhabited state. As Rabbi Schwartz explains, With the advent of human ability to radically alter the face of the planet with nuclear weapons and climate-changing pollution, keeping the world habitable has become a literal focus of Tikkun Olam, in a way our ancestors never imagined. He continues, I think the most important message of our creation stories for our attempts to set the world right is that they teach us to see the world as inherently or potentially good. While our Jewish tradition doesn't encourage a naive assumption that no one wants to hurt anyone else, it also wants us to think that things can be good. The natural state is not the law of the jungle, or you can't trust anyone, or they all hate us, or they, whoever they are, only understand force. We're all created in the divine image, and the natural state is good. Our job is to maintain hope, to move in that good direction, and to work with each other as sacred yet complicated human beings, finding the holy sparks and repairing our world. 69 years ago, the 35 founders of this UUCL community sought hope in one another as they organized this church on the promise that our natural state is good. For that is also an important theological belief that undergirds Unitarian Universalism. I've spent enough time reading the documents in our archives to know that our founders, people who had just lived through World War II, and some of them the Great Depression and even World War I before that, were searching for goodness through truth and for solace amongst one another. They wanted to be companions on a journey of exploration and learning, and they endeavored to build a community that could help repair the world. Cleo Thomas, who we call Tommy, exemplified this behavior. She nurtured relationships within and outside of the congregation. She often wrote about how she helped others to get along with one another. And additionally, she connected with and volunteered for the Human Relations Council of Florida, and she enjoyed connecting with other organizations in this area that also did the good work of repair, of Tikkun Olam, gathering the light so that the world becomes habitable and people can dwell together in peace. And so here we are today, in a world that is still very hard to be in. But yet, it is ours to carry on the legacy of our founders, and imperfection is no excuse to opt out. We are here to maintain a place for peace, a sanctuary for our souls, and just as important, to find those divine sparks of light so we can repair the world. It is often taught in Judaism that whatever our accomplishments may be, they depend on the gift of resources, not of our own making. Everything we do is necessarily dependent on soil and water and sun, and just as much on knowledge, social systems, and the work of our ancestors, delivered to us by people who lived before us. We are here because 69 years ago, 35 people brought this Unitarian Universalist community together. And since then, people have given of themselves to sustain it. No matter how hard the times have been, they remained steadfast in their hope to keep creating a better, more inhabitable world. And we should not give up on that hope. We have other humans to think about. We have future humans to think about. All of us are sacred beings that contain a complicated mix of enduring love and light, and also, well, the things that are not so loving or so brilliantly shining. But let us find hope and the energy to organize in the gratitude we have for the hard work and contributions of our UUCL founders. May we be grateful for the light that continued to call them, insisting that together was the way forward. May we be grateful for the wisdom they had to create a quiet, restful place right here that held the seeds of possibility. May we be grateful for the future we continue to organize and repair for. And let us sing together so that we can gather together the ways to repair. Please join me in hymn number 288 in your gray hymnal, All Our Architects.
All right, this is how the tune goes. Rise up, inviting spirit as you are able.
I want you to know that we are not alone in this. I know you probably already know, but sometimes it is good to be reminded. We are not the only ones who seek the holy sparks, who yearn for more love, and who actively collect the light and organize for repair. There really are millions of others. We can organize with them and raise our voices to heal the world together. The UUA is always organizing and providing us with resources and support. Sherry finds hope in the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, for they are prepared for what lies ahead. I appreciate the ALT, National Park Service on Facebook, also known as the official resistance team of the U.S. National Park Service. Do you like their page? You should follow them. They recently made a statement to the governor of North Dakota, who will soon oversee the nation's public lands, in other words, the lands that belong to all of us. The ALT-NPS stated, "Our mission has always been and will continue to be to protect, preserve, and provide access to these lands for future generations. This mission is non-negotiable. Any attempts to undermine it, whether through budget cuts, policy changes, or weakening protections, will be met with steadfast resistance." They have a purpose, they have a promise, and they will hold to that promise with steadfast resistance. Organizing for repair right now requires that we don't take a soft position. And that is why we also need our local community partners. The Interfaith Coalition of Polk County, the Rose Dynasty Foundation, Red Tent Initiative, Planned Parenthood. Together, we hold more of those sparks of light. We create more love and we are stronger. A quote from a book entitled Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, written by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan, can help us understand Tikkun Olam in another way. One of the characters in this novel says, "Then it hits me. Maybe we're the pieces. Maybe that's it. With what you were talking about before, Tikkun Olam, the world being broken. Maybe it isn't that we're supposed to find the pieces and put them back together. Maybe we're the pieces. Maybe what we're supposed to do is come together. That's how we stop the breaking." So let us organize together with purpose and a promise to uphold the sacredness of every life, to work to be diverse, multicultural, beloved communities where all thrive, to dismantle racism and all forms of systemic oppression, and to support the use of inclusive democratic processes to make decisions. Today, your Board of Trustees is asking you to join them in creating a vision statement for this congregation. You all, even if you just walked in this door, all of you are this congregation, and we want you to come together and make a statement about the world we want and what is ours to do to help create it. It will take all of us to stop the breaking, collect the sparks of light, and repair the harm. For we are the creators and the nurturers, standing on the shoulders of our ancestors and the precipice of handing this world to our descendants. Our souls will not be broken, and love can never be defeated. Amen. Now, closing words.
May the love that overcomes all differences by Frederick E. Gillis. May the love that overcomes all differences, that heals all wounds, that puts to fight all fears, that reconciles all who are separated, be in us and among us now and always. Amen.
All right, y'all. So I'm supposed to get you clapping. Now, I don't know about you, but I grew up on PBS. I've been singing this song my whole life. And I think a lot of you know it too. So are we ready? All right, okay. All right. Feel free to get up, rest. I had a hammer, and I have it evening all over this land. I am a my brothers and my sisters all over this if I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it out loud between brothers and sisters all over this land. I had a bell. I sing it in the morning, sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out a warning, I'd sing out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. I hammer, and I've got a bell. I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice. It's the bell of freedom. It's the song of love between brothers and sisters all over this land. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world.